As the baby boomer generation begins to retire, we enter the era of the Millennials, those born between 1980 and 2000. In the U.S., Millennials make up 25% of the workforce, and it's projected that by 2020, they will form 50% of the global workforce. Not only are Millennials reshaping the workforce, they are also the most educated generation in American history. Nearly 1/3 of Millennials ages 26 to 33 have a college degree or higher. Four outstanding Millennials are joining us today, and we want to meet them right now. 27-year-old Julisa Salas, a Harvard Business School class of 2016 and winner of an entrepreneurial competition at Harvard. 22-year-old Andy Vargas, the first elected Latino official in the city of Haverhill. 23-year-old Edmar Gierbolini, Berklee College of Music presidential scholar, saxophonist, and composer, and 30-year-old Diana Albrecht, second soloist at the Boston Ballet and recipient of the National Award of Dance. Welcome to Urban Update. Thanks for coming in. Wow, those titles for such young people. What are the ages again? You know, Julisa, you are old?
27.
27. Andy?
22.
Diana?
30.
And
23.
Edmar?
23.
23. Man, those are pretty impressive credentials for such young people. They say you're going to be the next great generation. I can see why they say that. I'd like to start out just by talking a little bit about everyone's background. Andy, maybe start with you.
Sure.
Just what about your own personal background?
Sure. So I was originally from Cambridge, Massachusetts, born there, priced out of there when I was 6 years old, and my family moved to Cambridge, to Haverhill, excuse me. And I've always had a passion for public service, for civic engagement. In high school, I helped draft legislation to get civic education back into our high schools. So that's really where I first started getting interested in politics and government and civic engagement. My father was one of the last workers in one of the last shoe factories in Haverhill. So 2 months ago, when I was inaugurated to the city council, it was a great experience to kind of see the American dream fulfill itself through my father and me.
Wow, amazing. Edmar Gierbolini, a little bit about your background.
Yes, good morning, thank you. I'm from Puerto Rico. I was born in Puerto Rico. I went to school there till I was 18, graduated from high school, and came here to Berklee College of Music with an amazing opportunity with the scholarship, the presidential scholarship, which paid for all my tuition and room and board. I came to Berklee, and it was an incredible experience meeting people from all over the world, which is one of the most amazing things that you could do in a place like Boston and Berklee. Exchange all this cultural knowledge and become more sensitive to humanity, which is essentially the work that I'm developing now as a human being.
Julisa Salas, talk to me about a little bit on your background.
Yes, so I am originally born to Dominican parents. I'm from Washington Heights, New York. I went to school in Middlebury, Vermont, where I had a great exposure to liberal arts and decided to pursue finance for 4 years after graduating from Middlebury. After working in finance, what I really wanted to do is give back in some way to my community and solve community problems. So in business school, one of the projects that I was working on was actually building an on-demand hairstyling company for multicultural women, which has really led me to an understanding of how to solve how to solve operational efficiencies within our own communities.
Okay, all right. And last but not least, Diana Albrecht, a little bit about your background.
Hello, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm from Paraguay, and I'm a classical ballet dancer. I am the only Paraguayan to be in a major ballet company, and I came here through a Grand Prix competition, and where I competed with dancers around the world. So it's a privilege, an honor, and a great opportunity for me to inspire other generations.
Okay. Now, your generation is one of the most educated in the history, really, but that also means if everyone's so educated, there's a lot of competition. Do you feel that's been an advantage or a disadvantage in the workforce? Do you feel like it's really tough? Anyone want to try that one?
I think it's an advantage because it helps us push boundaries and reach new limits. So I think it's great.
And what about all this technology? There are a lot of arguments about the impact of technology and social media on our society. Do you think that we're taking steps backwards or forwards with technology?
It's a very interesting question because I think about that a lot, and I always have this little diagram that I think, where I see society, technology going like this forward, and society sort of going backwards simultaneously. Because I share a quick story. I was talking to somebody at the school cafeteria the other day, and I decided to sit down at a table where I didn't know these people. These people don't seem to do that, just sit down at a table and talk to somebody they don't know. It's like a foreign thing already. And he said, we started chatting, and we started conversing about this very same topic. And I told these people I just met, I said, you see how all this social media is supposed to connect us more? And what it does is disconnect us. Because you see everybody on the phone checking their thing. When you have somebody in front of you you can speak to and relate and look into their eyes and have a human connection, a real human connection, with what's eventually going to really bring us to try and solve issues that we have as society and as humanity.
That is a criticism of your generation, that you aren't good at talking to people because you're so busy talking to your devices. I'm sure you've all heard that before, haven't you? Now, did all of you grow up with a lot of access to this internet technology, and do you think you'd be successful today without it?
I don't think so. Because I think social media or technology has helped for me, particularly as an artist, to the level of exposure, so we can connect with audiences and new audiences and show what we got.
Andy, Julisa, what do you think about it? You guys grow up with technology at your age?
I certainly think it's helped a lot more than hurt us, because now we're prepared for the jobs that are available now, because we learn things much quicker. We're raised in an age where we learn technology on the fly, so now we're able to learn things on the fly as well.
I completely agree with that, and I think that something that's really driven a lot of people's successes in our generation is really mentorship. So when you have access to a lot of technology, it's sometimes very hard to decipher what's good information from bad information, and mentors can really help guide you towards how to effectively use all the resources available to you.
Okay, we're running out of time a little bit, but I want to just go around the table and talk a little bit more about your specific career path. Andy, we'll start with you. Was it a challenge to get Haverhill residents to trust someone who was so young to try to lead their city?
This was interesting. I thought it was going to be a huge challenge. At first I said, how am I going to prove myself to the residents of Haverhill? But instead, what I found was that being young was actually an advantage. The average age on the city council in Haverhill was previously 61. And so having a 22-year-old is going to freshen the discussion and move towards more innovative things. And when you think about who the movers and shakers have been throughout human society, it's been young people. Steve Jobs was very young. Bill Gates was very young. Thomas Jefferson was 25 when he signed the Declaration of Independence. So we have to start thinking about young people being the movers and shakers of human society.
Now, Edmar, I guess presidential scholar at Berklee College of Music. You're from Puerto Rico. Can you sort of talk about your journey to Berklee, and is that something that runs in your family? This music.
No, my family doesn't necessarily play instruments, but they're very musical. And I remember my mom cleaning the house and doing the clave and singing and everything. Like, wow, it's amazing. So it was there somehow. But Berklee goes to Puerto Rico, and they have a program, which is a 5-day program that they do every year. And I attended this program, and I got a scholarship to come to a summer program here called the Berklee 5 Week, which I attended 3 times. At the end of the third one, I applied to the school. I got the scholarship, and I just have to mention very quickly. We're running out of time?
Just go ahead.
Just very quickly, I'm part of this program that is incredible at Berklee, that is called the Berklee Global Jazz Institute, which is an incredible part of my career here at Berklee, which is led by Panamanian pianist Danilo Perez and Italian saxophonist Marco Pignataro, which focuses on the highest level of music, but the highest level of humanity, and not just having music as entertainment, but a form of solving problems in our society.
I want to get Julisa and Deanna in here as well. Julisa, I guess you've got a pretty amazing story to share.
Yes, so I tried entrepreneurship in this space, and I think one of the main things that I'll tell people that they need to be aware of is, number one is make sure that you find an idea that you're very passionate about. And once you have that idea, really go for it and make sure that you build a great team and mentors that will guide you not only in building that idea, but really scaling the idea so you can truly achieve your vision. And then make sure you join the right networks in order to get access to capital, which I think is very important in order to push your vision forward.
And Diana, I know you have an amazing show, amazing journey, and you've got a show coming up as well.
Oh yeah, we're working on our next program, opening next Thursday and goes until the 26th. We're working in 4 diverse pieces, and we promise to be really good, and you cannot miss it. It's an amazing program where it displays really the physicality and diversity of our company. It's very colorful. It's called Kaleidoscope, and we hope to see you all there.
Okay, all right. Well, gosh, this has been a real pleasure talking to the next great generation here, the young leaders. Edmar Colon, Diana Albrecht, Julisa, Salas, and Andy Vargas. Thank you all for coming in. And, I'm sure I'll never say good luck. You guys are really off and running to fabulous lives and fabulous careers. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, when we return, the 20th anniversary of the Red Ribbon Gala of Greater Boston Sickle Cell Disease Association. All the details right here on An Update.